What do we use for inflation? I have 1 for inflation. What do you use for inflation? I can use consumer price index. If I care for consumers, you guys are consumers. You guys are industrialists. Then consumer price index, producer price index. He wants to figure out what's happening for the entire country. For the entire country, he cares about gross domestic product. Therefore, deflator for the gross domestic product. 3 different concepts for inflation. You can take anything from here. What is happening? Asia's business is doing well. Her business has $1 and the growth rate is 30%. But the inflation is 3%. 1 plus 3%. What is happening? She's gaining. How much she's gaining? She's not gaining 30% because 3% the price is going up. In reality, she's gaining something, 27. But in relative terms, this is what? Then this is the example. The formula here says -1. The formula here has -1. And my question is, what is this 1? What is this 1? 1 is what? As a rate. 1 is what as a rate? 1 is what as a rate here? 1 means no change. Same thing. What is not change? I'll take the denominator and I will replace it. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to replace the denominator. What's the denominator? 1 plus inflation. 1 plus inflation. So what do I have here? I have what is happening as a change minus the inflation. Okay. Other rule in math. You go on to this case in math. You go on to this case in math. What do I have? Here, I replace the 1 minus 1 plus inflation over 1 plus inflation. This divided by this is 1, correct? Yes.
Can you also say instead of the CPI, replace it with R?
You can replace it with PPI, you can replace it with GDP deflator, based upon what kind of indicator you want for a consumer, or you can replace it for consumer personal expenditures. But this is what you replace. This is the 1. Correct? That's the 1. What do you have here? You have a division. That's what he's doing in algebra. You have a division of things that they have the same denominator, which means this is equal to 1 plus the nominal rate minus 1 plus the inflation divided by 1 plus the inflation. Clear? So we have the formulas. We manipulate the formulas. What is happening here? I'm saying that part. If I go there, you can see me from the video, or I need to go back?
You see the whole board.
You can see the whole thing. Therefore, I can go on, and I would move on. This is equivalent to what? What do I have here? Things in parentheses. I'll take them out of parentheses. 1 plus the nominal rate minus, I take it from parentheses, 1 minus consumer price index over 1 plus consumer price index. Correct? Good. Asia will tell me. What do? I distribute this part and this part here. What do I have here? Asia will tell me. 1 minus 1 cancel out. And if 1 minus 1 cancel out, what is happening? What is happening? I have nominal rate minus the inflation divided of how inflation increases. Clear? Everything with the math. So this one is the equivalent formula of what the book gives you as what is the real rate of return. Yes.
So you would say CPI, I mean inflation and CPI, but you didn't interchange that with anything that is inflation?
No, I measure inflation with either CPI, PPI, CDP deflator, or consumer price expenditures. These are 4 different alternative ways to measure inflation. What do I want to do? I want to take the formula that is in my book. I want to understand what's the formula. What is the real rate of return? The real rate of return is, what's my nominal rate when I take off my inflation related to how much inflation increases. Clear? And I want to use this formula so I will know what is happening. Which means, anytime you have a mathematical formula, I want you to go back to your math and be able to understand what is that mathematical formula by explaining clearly what is going on in that particular case. Capish? Good. Then we can go on. Yeah?
One last question. You don't get mad, but
I don't get mad.
why, if this is equal to that one, what was the point of this entire thing if you could just leave it like that?
What do you mean?
Didn't you say this one is interchangeable with that last one?
What is the problem that I have?
The -1 recognizing.
I don't know what is this one in plain English.
Isn't it just 1?
But one in financial terms is what? I want to know how I will manipulate the entire formula so I can see from where that one is coming.
So
What the one is coming? The one is coming from this formula. What is this formula? This formula says that the real rate is the nominal rate minus the inflation. What's the nominal rate? 10%. What's the inflation? 2%. What is the difference? 8%. Divided with how much inflation increases. 1 plus the inflation is how much the inflation increases. What does this mean? That if the price is 1 and the inflation is 3%, then the price is not 1, is 1.03. Clear? And this is what I want you to know. This is what I want you to be comfortable with. So we will go on and use everything we know. What do we know? We know how we can think in terms of ratios. We know how we can think in terms of subtractions. We know what is a ratio and what is a subtraction. We know what is the ratio and what is a subtraction. What is it? We have it here. We know how to compare in relative terms. We said that things in relative terms, they lose the symbol that we identify what is happening. If the symbol is dollar, we divide not only number by number, but dollar with dollar. The result is relative. How do I express relative? As a percentage. How do I express absolute? Dollar minus dollar, dollar plus dollar is giving you a dollar. How do we have things in compound terms? What do we have? A relative term together with a nominal term. We have a subtraction related to the previous case. What is the important? What is now A and what is before? What do I want to lose? I want to lose half of my weight. Can I do it? No, I can't. But from last year, I was able to lose half of my weight. But now I cannot lose half of my weight. I'll be dead. But I can lose 30% more. Is this clear? We make it in a way that we can understand what is happening. Why do we want to do it? What did we say we're going to do today? We're going to move to the new chapter. And the new chapter that we are going to move is going to be a chapter about stock markets, financial markets. And in that particular chapter, I want to know two important concepts. One concept I want to know is the concept of return. One concept I want to know is the concept of return. The other concept I want to know is the concept of risk. Why do I want to think about this case? Because I want to see, do I want high returns or low returns? These are the two different cases that I have. I want to have high returns or low returns. And I want to have high risk or I want to have low risk. And that is a difference between who is talking about. So, you know me a little bit by now, right? Easy, I'm a risk taker, or
You're a smart risk taker.
I'm a risk taker or not? Why did you say that? No, I'm not smart. I have as much brain as everybody else. Why am I a risk taker?
Because you know your numbers. So
I'm an immigrant. Anyone who leaves his pleasure, comfort zone of being wherever you are, and you go to another place with another language, with another customs,
risk taker.
is a risk taker. So, risk taker means what? You want to have high risk. High risk means what?
High return?
High risk means what?
High risk.
I may double my stuff, or I may lose my stuff. And I take a risk. Do I know what is going to happen? No.
That's why it's a high risk.
That's a high risk. Low risk means what? You're not going to gain much, but you're not going to lose much. Therefore, risk and return are related concepts. Risk and return are related concepts. How they are related? Take this out, and I want to see how risk and return is related, how they are related. This is my return, and this is my risk. So what do I want to see? This is return. High return, low return. High risk, low risk. Did I put it right? High return, this is return. High return, low return. High risk, low risk. And this is the case that I want to be able to see. What do I want to do? Yes.
Okay. So I feel like we're going to implement the same formulas as before. So we are going to take our risk and our return. Okay. So we're going to take, I don't know. Oh, I know. We're going to do return over risk. And then we're going to do 6. You and me.
I'm listening.
No, you saved it as 525, but it's 625.
That's fine.
So will we do risk over return or return over risk?
So
We'll do 3. We'll do return
I'll
equals
go
risk.
on to Google. While I'm in Google, I want to go on and see. Let's go to Google first. And if I'm in Google, I want to go on and see finance. And I'll see what's happening in Google Finance. And I want to see what's going on with Dow Jones Industrial Average. I want to see it as long as we keep this data. What does this tell you? And I will go on to Yahoo. In Yahoo, go on to Yahoo Finance. In Yahoo Finance, I'm going to go on and see General Electric. General Electric was a stock that this week was dropped out of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is what is happening with General Electric.
Why did it drop?
Then I'm going to go on to Wall Street Journal. In the Wall Street Journal, I'll sign up for my stuff. And I'll get information. I want to see what is happening in the markets. I want to go on see different markets that I have here. I want to see different markets that I will have here. Which market do I want to see? We say we can go to market data. We will look at market data and we can find out what's happening to different markets. I'll go on to NASDAQ. What is NASDAQ? Another market. go on for the 3 years of NASDAQ. What do I see? What do I see here?
Hold on.
I saw 3 different views. I see one market, NASDAQ. I saw another market, Dow Jones Industrial Average. Dow Jones Industrial Average. I saw another market. What is happening with General Electric? I'm going to go on and go back to Google Finance. And in Google Finance, I will see what's happening with another corporation that is a historic corporation, IBM. IBM is the corporation that put the first computer in the market. IBM is changing its stock. What do I want to do here? I want to compare. If I want to compare IBM, I'll look at a different case. And I want to compare IBM together with Microsoft. Why do I want to compare IBM with Microsoft? Once upon a time in the 80s, when I was a student, IBM was a big company, Microsoft was almost nothing. IBM was making the personal computers. They needed disk operating system to make the personal computers work. Since then, IBM grew. Microsoft grew. Which one grew faster than the other? What do I want to do? I want to compare them. How do I want to compare them? What's happening with their stock market? The value of their stock. Do I want to compare them with the value of their stock in dollar terms, or I want to compare them in the value of the stock in percentage terms? What is the difference? That's what we said everything before. Absolute terms, I compare them with dollar terms. Relative terms, I compare them in not dollars, but how each one works in percentages. What kind of a comparison I have here? For the last 3 months, what is happening? What is going on? One is IBM, the other is Microsoft. Blue is IBM, red is Microsoft. Clear? What else is important? Time span. Do I want to see it in 3 months? I get a picture. Can I change the time span?